Alright, what's up guys? We're back at it, but this time I'm going to give some thoughts on the Klipsch the 6's powered speakers. I should have made this video a long time ago, like many years ago in terms of relevance, but hey, it's better late than never, right? So anyway, I bought these back in 2020 for 500 bucks direct from the Klipsch website, and it was an absolute steal. To be honest, every speaker I own was purchased at a ridiculously satisfying price, but that's a story on its own. Anyways, the 6s were an upgrade from the Audio Engine A5 Plus that I had and still have for over 10 years. The sound difference from the A5 Plus to the 6s was significant. The 6s embody the signature sound of Klipsch products. It's extremely engaging, toe-tapping, head-bobbing, lively sound that keeps me rocking out no matter how long or what type of music I'm listening to. And that's honestly what I look for with any speaker. After unboxing the speakers and setting them up, off the bat, the first thing that was apparent was the level of clarity and bass response. There is a realistic presence of vocals and string instruments such as guitar, violin, bass guitar, and so forth. The details of fingers sliding across frets or plucking strings are detailed and believable. Brass instruments often used in jazz is reproduced with tonal accuracy and lifelike decay. If the room has a little bit of reverb, and I mean just a tad bit, the realism of sound is spectacular. Yes, technically reverb in a room isn't ideal, but it's more important when recording audio or music versus listening at home. A room that is overly treated can also sound lifeless, but that's really dependent on personal preferences and it varies from each person. And for those wondering, electronic music and hip hop also sound fantastic through the 6s. I know most audiophiles don't listen to those genres, I guess mainly more with hip hop, but it sure does sound energetic and enjoyable through the speakers. For being a low-cost speaker, it has a surprisingly good rhythm and pace with fast music. The two 6.5-inch paper cone woofers dig deep and provide strong bass. I would recommend a sub if you want fuller range of sound, but on its own, the 6s can easily please most people in terms of low frequencies. The horn-loaded titanium dome tweeters are what makes this speaker special. If you don't like horns, I guess the speaker isn't for you, but 9 out of 10 times the music sounds smooth without being too shouty or bright as many people fear about horn-loaded speakers. I did use my 6s for a short time to watch movies and the experience was pleasant. Explosions had depth and dialogue was clear. For a 2-channel home theater system, it held up well. I would recommend these more so for music over movies, especially now that we have HDMI ARC options in the market. In terms of room placement, I had mine about 9 inches away from the wall in my old condo. You may have seen the older videos from like 4 years ago, but in this space currently, I've had them about 3 feet away from the wall and they sound open and have crazy good imaging. As with most rear-ported speakers, bass is cleaner the further away from the wall. Too close, it's going to sound kind of muddy and boomy, but if it's too far away, it's just going to sound lean. So that's something you'll just have to play around with in your room. In terms of build quality, I would give these an 8 out of 10. I personally like the walnut finish on the 6s over the 9s. It has a richer tone and overall looks more premium. The edges are nicely joined without any glue or gaps that are visible. The cabinet is made from real wood veneer with nice copper hardware, knobs, and power switch. I would have preferred that the power switch to be a bit heftier, but it's been holding up for 5 years without issue. There are wooden feet at the bottom that also slightly angle the speaker, which looks nice, but it may be challenging to find proper stands due to that feature. I used the Wharfdale Linton stands that got the attention of many people, and they sit perfectly with them. It looks very premium on those stands. Check out the older videos to see that setup. Looking at the connectivity from left to right, it's pretty straightforward. You got your analog input for connecting a turntable, external DAC, or compatible RCA component. Next to that, we have an auxiliary input, an optical, and a USB input. The service USB is for firmware, but I haven't used it. We got a grounding post for the turntable and the left speaker connector, which is a 4-pin cable. It would have been nice to have more than one analog input, but at this price it doesn't really bother me. So is this speaker outdated compared to the newer powered speakers? Yes, but for someone mainly using these for music, it's still an awesome unit and a cool Klipsch piece to own. I didn't buy these for the connectivity, I bought them for the looks and the horn tweeters. So if you're an audiophile, these sound great but don't rely on the internals. Considering these aren't too easy to find anymore, the alternative is the Klipsch the 7s or the 9s. But back when these were in production, the 6s were ideal for those who wanted an all-in-one system for a clean look without the mess of cables and extra components. If you throw parties at home, these can impress with its lively sound, which I have done and can confirm. Essentially, the 9s are a similar speaker but with updated internals and includes HDMI ARC for TV. The 9s have more overall power output, but I personally feel it lacks clarity compared to the 6s in the high frequencies. That's not to say the 9s are muffled, because they're not, but it feels a little bit rolled back for being a horn-loaded tweeter. This is most likely due to the bass to treble ratio in the tuning, or DSP, which can somewhat be controlled through the Klipsch app. The app could use more improvement, but to be honest, a lot of the audio brand apps need more work. Software developers aren't cheap, but most of these fixes just need some refinement. So to touch on some of the downsides, the most obvious one is that if the onboard amplifier fails, you must get a new one. The older this product gets, the harder or more expensive that will be. The internal DAC is mediocre, and any external DAC will outperform it. The internal phono stage is also subpar for those who have listened to better ones. For the untrained ear, it probably will sound good, but I would recommend buying external components to get the best out of the 6s. I was using the topping D50S DAC with the P50 linear power supply, and it sounded quite amazing. It had better instrument separation and overall tighter bass and texture. As a standalone music system, I do love these speakers. And as I mentioned earlier, not having HDMI ARC makes this a bit outdated if you want to use it as a true all-in-one system with your TV. You can still connect a TV with the optical input, but it lacks the seamless integration of HDMI ARC. If you can get your hands on the 6s for a reasonable price, I think they are a good looking and great performing powered speaker. I recently seen these on eBay for $600, which is a fair price. The 7s or the 9s would be the best current day choice if you want a Klipsch powered speaker. I have a pair of the 9s and I've been using it for a few years now, and they're still running strong. As always, I hope you found something useful out of this video, and that's going to be all for this one. I try to keep my videos short and to the point without too much of the audiophile articulation. At the end of the day, only you can validate the claims that are being made. If I missed something, let me know down in the comments below. Thank you for checking out my videos. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll catch you in the next one.